Somebody's not happy with me today. Someone's very unhappy with me today. I don't know why, but she is. Are you ready to do some book reviews? Are you ready to have Flashback Monday? No. Good. So, are we ready for May 2013 Romantic Times book review? All these wonderful, wonderful books. So awesome. Ah, where we talk about Regency. Where's my list? I have lost. There's my list. Lost my list. Where's my marker? Very unprepared today. Very unprepared. So, Prince Charming, naked guy on the cover. Is he in between stuff? I don't know. Bye bye, Suki. We've talked about it. We'll talk about it again. So let's get started here. Shit, did I? No, that was the last. Yeah, that was the last one. Okay. How to pursue a princess. I need to take the price tag off. Let's see. 4.5 stars. The latest addition to the delightful Duchess Diaries series incorporates sparkling, witty repartee and heart-tugging emotions. With a wonderful, wonderful romantic story, this book is pure, unadulterated. Let's see here. Lily Balfour accepts the Duchesses of Roxburgh's invitation to a country house party because she needs to find a wealthy husband before her sister marries their despicable neighbor. Then Lily meets a charming, handsome, and wealthy earl. He's perfect until a fall lands her in Prince Peter's Wolfink's strong arms. The Russian nobleman is playing the role of a penniless prince to find a woman who loves him for himself, for Peter. It's love at first sight. Lily is torn between a safe marriage to an earl and a growing desire for Peter. As Romany grandmother and the Duchess meddle, it will be quite a feat for Lily and Peter to pull it off. Have to read it and find out. Uh-uh. Dude, I gotta sneeze. I just realized in the book, they call him Peter Wolfink, and in the summary on the back, they just call him Wolf. You know, every single week I say this to myself, and every single week I screw up. So where is my paper here? Oh, see. Every week I screw. Stupid pieces of paper. It's the page. It's the page in the magazine. These make good bookmarks. Um, Lord of Wicked Intentions, 4.5 stars. Readers who have been anticipating the final volume in the Lost Lords of Pembroke series will not be disappointed. Heath delivers a wounded hero who heals hearts, an innocent yet wise heroine, witty dialogue, emotional depth, and heated sexual tension. Lord Rafe Easton learned to survive on the rough London streets. He's seen his brother marry, but Rafe relies on himself and wants nothing to do with love. He's prepared to reclaim a debt when he meets Evelyn Chambers, illegitimate daughter of an earl. Evelyn is sure her half-brother will honor her father's deathbed wishes and care for her. Instead, he plans to sell her to the highest bidder? What a creep! An unexpected desire to possess Evelyn drives Rafe to make her his mistress. However, she naively believes she is to be married. Oh, good God. So, we're going to have the meet and greet, the get together, and then there's going to be the big twisty turny at the end where she discovers that he wasn't planning on the marriage thingy, and then he decides he is planning on the marriage thing. I just bet how the twisty turny is going to go. Good Lord, does she have to go off every video? Damn, excuse me a second. What a lady needs. Casey Michaels. Let's see here. And I hate the fact that I used to write in this. Some of the issues really I wrote them and I'm pissed off at myself for doing so. What a lady needs. Let's see if we can do that. It's like a vampire is gonna bite her. Uh 4.5 stars. Michael's beloved Regency romances are witty and smart, and the second volume in her Redgrave series is no different. The lively banter moves the intriguing plot along, as do the fascinating twists and turns of the mystery surrounding the Redgrave scandalous history. The Stuart legacy, the war with France, and possible traitor, Ed Smugglers, a resurrected Hellfire Club, likable characters, as well as strong adventure. Oh, where's the just see if I can put this here. This is going to be a good one for the club. So, let's see. Miss, did I? There she is. You know, this chick has a couple of different names. She has a couple of different names. Amanda Quick. Jane Ann Krentz. The Mystery Woman. 4.5 stars. With the second in the Ladies of Lantern Street series, Quick delivers everything her fans yearn for, a strong mystery with otherworldly touches. While on her latest mission, Beatrice Lockwood is rescued by a stranger seeking her for his own reasons. Joshua North was the crown spy until a case gone wrong left him injured. Now he finds missing things, like his sister's blackmailer. He realizes Beatrice couldn't be the suspect, but she can help him find out who is trying to harm his family. The investigation leads to an antiquities collector's house and a madman who needs Birch's powers to complete a resurrection. Powers? Let's see. Under the plain gray skirts of Miss Beatrice Lockwood's gown, a pistol waits at the ready. For Beatrice is paid companion on a secret mission with a secret past. Ah, my nose itches. She must be prepared to fight for her life at any moment, yet she is thrown oddly off guard by the fierce-looking man who joins her in foiling a crime outside of a fancy ball, and then disappears into the shadows, leaving only his card and his name, Joshua Gage. He claims to know Beatrice's employers. Beyond that, he is an enigma with a hypnotical, calm voice and an ebony and steel cane. Just these old movies with the garter with the gun. You really actually believe the garter could hold up a gun? My lady, my nose. Sorry. Oh, shoot. My nose. The Devil's Heart, Kathy Maxwell. 4 stars. With its memorable characters and well-written plotline brimming over with supernatural elements, the last of the Chatton Curse trilogy is a fitting conclusion to the series. Maxwell always makes readers believe love conquers all. Through her brothers have succumbed to love, Lady Margaret Chatton believes the only way to break the curse that has plagued her family for 200 years is to never marry. However, if she is to save her siblings' lives, she must travel to the far reaches of Scotland and confront the Laird of Macnaghten. Heath Macnaghten has his life's work ahead, keeping his clansmen in line. He certainly doesn't need a stubborn English woman interfering and insisting he help on a quest for a supernatural enemy. Let's see. Let's see. We did that one, we did that one, that one, that one, that one. A Wedding in Springtime. Amanda Foster. So it's hard to show white. Mm. 4 stars. With a break from her medieval Highlander series, Foster promises her fans a warm, humorous jaunt Regency England. When Jeannie Talbot makes a hash of a presentation at court, any hope of securing a good marriage is over. Desperate to avoid running her cousin's betrothal to a duke, Jeannie submits to the combined will of her aunt and the Duke's mother to find a suitable match. Unfortunately, the rake who caused her disgrace is the only man she likes. William Grant avoids debutantes like the plague until he realizes how gravely he's hurt Jeannie. Will he step up to the plate and help her? Now that he's ruined her. Damn nose. Somebody remind me to take my meds in the morning. Or actually later today. It is morning. Midnight Temptations. I love this magazine. I wish they still made it today. I really do. I'm working on continuing something like this after I run out. I'm working on it. It's not going to be magazine-y though. If you haven't seen my unboxing, go see my unboxing. I've done a lot of unboxing. I get these boxes. I have no idea what's in them when I get them. They're just given to me. And I do a video. What's in the box? Because I don't know what's in the box. I honestly don't know. I haven't looked. So I go through it with you. And then we're like, charity, charity, charity. Keep, maybe. Nah, charity. Keep, maybe. Charity. And there's a book in here that I gave. And I'm like, gosh, darn it, I should have kept that one. So when we get to that book, I go see my video on that. Because that's when I had the book. What did I say? Midnight Temptations. I was wondering if I could plaster this on the screen. Midnight Temptations, Forbidden Lord. Naked guy on the cover. Pursuing naked girl on the cover. I like the purple. Well, that's not purple. It's like a bluish. You know who uses this a lot? Karen Hawkins. Isn't her book? No, it's a white dress this time. Sabrina Jeffries does the purple too. So where were we? So, Midnight Temptations with a Forbidden Lord. Tiffany Clare, 1846 England, 4 stars. The Dangerous Rogues return in their book 2 of Clare's enjoyable and charming series. Readers will be delighted as the daring heroine and the dangerous, oh so sexy hero are caught in a game of seduction, revenge, and desire. Tristan Bradley, Marquis of Castley, has a reputation for being a dangerous seducer. Still, he's stunned when a debutante boldly asks him to dance. Lady Charlotte Lindsay knows all about Tristan. That's why she has chosen him to ruin her, so she can escape an unwanted marriage. Charlotte has no idea that she's playing into Tristan's shame to destroy her fiancé. The game becomes complicated when Tristan is fascinated by Charlotte and she is wooed by his letters of seduction. He says it's gonna backfire on somebody. Um, Julianne McLean, The Prince's Bride. I have some of her books, just not this one. I miss. I did a big cleanup during COVID, and I never should have done it. Never should have done it. But years ago, and a lot of my local thrift stores have stopped carrying books. Can you believe that gunk? Can you believe that gunk? They've stopped carrying. You used to be able to go up 10 years ago. Won't date myself, but I would buy 100, 200 mass markets a week. I was getting for 10, 20 cents a piece back then. Nowadays, they're all like $1 or $2 in some of the places. I know one place that sells them for like $5. And I mean, even if they're chewed up, they're still $5. My place, sometimes we do 3 for $1. Sometimes we do 5 or 6 for $1. This week, I think we're 6 for $1 because we had a bunch come in. So whenever we get an influx, she lowers the price. The manager lowers the price. So, and hardcovers are on sale for $2 this week, which is really weird. We've never done 2 before. We've either done 1 or BOGO at 3. So that's kind of weird. The Prince's Bride. Oh, 4 stars. McLean's loyal romance trilogy comes to a charming end as a dashing prince meets his match in a feisty French minx. From the first page, McLean lures readers into a different style of captive-captor plot and entices them to keep turning the pages. To pay off her father's gambling debts and reclaim their home, Veronica Monteith is forced to abduct Prince Nicholas of Petersburg and hold him captive in a house outside of Paris and await her employer. A rakish Shaduka Nicholas is planning a tryst with the lovely masked woman he met at a ball when he's dragged and taken captive. For the instant they were alone in the carriage, Veronica felt an overwhelming attraction to Nicholas, so it's easy for him to convince her to help him escape. Ah. Let's see. Princess Bride napping. Lynn Connolly, Lisbon. We're great. 4 stars. The fast-paced historical romance incorporates high seas adventure, intrigue, and characters who only want their lives to be normal and are willing to do whatever it takes to make that happen. Connolly's deft writing style brings the 18th century to life and keeps readers wanting more. In his 8th Richard and Rose novel, Rose has recovered from bearing triplets and the fever that almost killed her. Oh, my nose itches. Her husband has not come to bed for so long that she's planning to woo him back while they are on their way to Portugal. When attempted murder is reported aboard ship, Richard spends most of his time investigating, further distancing himself from Rose. They will need to work together if they are to survive the open sea and rediscover what they once had. More in it for the mystery than the marriage. You gotta talk to that child. Gotta talk to that child. Candace Camp, the marrying season. The 4 stars. Heroine who is a pattern card of correct behavior, a rascal hero, scandal, misunderstanding, and the return of previous characters round out the delectable, well-written love story. Lady Genevieve Stafford is genteel, albeit sharp-tongued, and she and her brother Alec have known Sir Miles Thurgood for ages. Genevieve finds Miles kind and charming, and at times irritating, but she enjoys their squabbles. When Genevieve becomes embroiled in a scandal, her fiancé calls off their engagement. Miles comes to her rescue, and his offer of marriage, it's not one of convenience as Genevieve thinks. He soon disabouses her that notion as he patiently teaches her the joys of the marriage bed. Okay. And the tarnished among the ton. Louise Allen, 4 stars. This is a sequel to Forbidden Jewel of India. It's a tale of East meeting West, of cultures colliding and passions igniting. Allen knows her Regency period and its mores. The story is rich in the historical detail, has lots of plot twists, and 2 stubborn, adventurous lovers. Ash Herwood, born and raised in India, agrees to accept his new country and destiny. He knows his duty is to find a suitable wife. Felinda Hurst is illegitimate, has no dowry, and participates in dubious commercial activities. But she will do what she must to help her brother marry well, even if it means tangling the beautiful and dangerous Lord Clare. Ash is drawn to her despite her faults and repeatedly rescues her. I hate when they do that. I hate when they do that. If you're gonna call a character name, call him by one name. Alright, so it's Lord John Smith. You call him Lord Smith sometimes, you call him John sometimes, you call him John Smith, and I hate when they do that. I just hate when they do that. So, we are on to mainstream fiction. Let's see. Between Heaven and Texas. It's a quilt. Marie Bostwick, 4.5 stars. Bostwick's latest is so full of heart, it's amazing it all fits on the pages. Her characters feel genuine and their wisdom in face of intense difficulty is profound. A prequel to the Cobbled Court quilt series, this can stand on its own, satisfying longtime fans and inspiring new ones. Twins Mary Dell and Lydia Dell Templeton grow up in Too Much, Texas, where the men are handsome but lazy and the women are usually in charge. The women in their family have one fatal flaw, a weakness for shiftless men. Fortunately, they're also gifted with amazing sewing skills. When Mary Dell's dream of turning her love of sewing into a business becomes a dream of having babies with her husband, Donnie, she must come to terms with what really matters in life. Can't you do both? Don't know. May's Notebook. Isabella Allende. Wait, this one with the face on the cover. 4.5 stars. Allende's haunting, powerful, and lyrical novel proves that nothing can ever be broken and abused beyond repair. Neither people nor nations. Alan D captures the charismatic raw voice of a definitely self-destructive yet heartbreaking fragile American teen with the same shimmering perfection as she does the quiet redemption of a windblown Chilean village. Maya Vidal doesn't miss her absent and neglectful parents. Her eccentric and loving grandparents provide all she needs. But when her grandfather dies and her grandmother plunges into depression, Maya spirals into a nightmare of drug addiction, sexual abuse, and unwittingly complicit in sinister crimes. Not good, not good, not good. The Blossom Sisters. You know, only me. It's at the bottom of the pile. And these were sorta, kinda, not really sorta, kinda. In order. And now they're out of order. Blossom Sisters, 4.5 stars. Best-selling author Michael's wonderful story puts a fresh twist on the wrong spouse plot. Even though the characters are going through some rough situations, she takes out the sting using humor. Gus Hollister, who was raised by his grandmother Rose, must tell her that his shaming wife has taken everything, including the mansion Rose paid for. Rose warned him about Elaine, but he didn't listen. She tells him that he has to make amends before she will allow him back in her home and her life. She's also worried that Gus will learn about the secret business she and her sisters have worked so hard to build up. Gus has a lot of work to do, but with the help from his friends and associates, he will get back into Rose's good graces and maybe get a second chance at love. I don't know. Would you want to? Would you really want to? Um, More than you knew. At the other end of the pile. More than you knew. Nan Rossiter. Loosely connected to Rossiter's previous novels, this tale is peopled with wonderful, intriguing characters, both two and four-legged. Her father died the day she was born. Now Alzheimer's has taken her mother, and Beryl, Graham, and her sisters, Isk and Rumor, are home to plan their mother's service. Single Beryl anticipates her sister's arrival with the knowledge that at 44 she may never share their experience of marriage and family. Rumor arrives first, struggling with the idea that a 23-year-old marriage may be ending. Isk is dealing with an empty nest, the discovery of a secret that their mother only shared with them after she's gone, and a near tragedy would tragically change all of their lives. See what happens. See what happens. Uh, the lake house. Mercy Nault, 4.5 stars. Wonderful warmth fills the pages of this tender and parts tragic story. Nault touches on a range of human emotions as expressed through sincere, sympathetic, well-developed characters. Using beautiful language and poignant storytelling, she tells the story of an unlikely friendship and what it means to go back home and reconcile with the past. After moving away to Hollywood 50 years ago, 74-year-old Victoria Ross returns to Massachusetts' Nagai Lake, where she spent an idyllic childhood and happy summer with a close-knit group of friends. 28-year-old travel writer Heather Bregman buys a house on Nog Lake after separating from a controlling fiancé. They discover connection and support as they each try to find their place within the community. See what happens there. And I don't have the book for this. Oh, there it is. I do. This this lady, her books are literally flying off the shelf. Literally flying. She was bestseller for like weeks on end. This book only got 3 stars. I normally don't include 3-star books in my review, but because of who she is, I had to include it. So, and the wait list for this book at the library is ginormous too. Can you believe it? But she only got 3 stars. Kristen Hanna. There it is, 3 stars. In a follow-up to Fire Lane, Hannah pulls out all the stops, shifting between past and present and multiple characters, including a spirit. The story delves deeply into friendship, addiction, abuse, and finding forgiveness and love. There's an emotional depth, but very little plot, and a quick resolution is disappointing. Uh, For readers who like a good cry, get a couple of box of tissues with this book. Truly has driven herself to forget a painful past. It's worked well until her best friend Kate dies. As Tully's career implodes and she begins to rely heavily on prescription and medications, Tully thinks she's hit rock bottom. Then she's in a near fatal accident and left in a coma in a state between life and death. She talks with Kate and realizes her past at the same time. The various people who care about Tully come together to will her to live, including the mother who abandoned her as a child. So now she's got to wake up and face all that. Uh, it's one more. Someday, maybe. There's a bridge. Lauren Graham, 4 stars. Dashed hopes and dreams with a splash of tenacity make for an incredible, appealing main character in a delightful debut novel by Graham Gilmore Girls Parenthood. With a sweet and funny writing style, this big-hearted novel about a struggling actress trying to make it in New York City in the 90s is all the more special because it's based on Graham's own experiences. Fanny Brooks has only 6 months left. It's 1995, and she gave herself a 3-year deadline to make it as an actress in New York. But that deadline is fast approaching, and all she has to show for it is a gig waiting tables, a part in an ad for an ugly Christmas sweater, and a 2-person fan club consisting of her best friends and roommates, Jan and Dan. The upcoming showcase for her acting class is the only thing that could save her. But now the class flirt, James Franklin has his eye on her and is tempting to distract him. Despite the fact that she can't pay her rent, her father wants her to come home and her agent won't return her calls. Fanny won't give up because she believes that she still may just get what she wants in New York. See what happens there. So on to teen. And in a couple weeks, we'll have the unboxing of teen books. Some of those were interesting. Um the teen one, like look, see, the Regency has an index and mainstream fiction has a list. Every section has a list. The only section that doesn't have a list is the teen section. This one And I think I'm gonna need that one. Uh, there's no special editing here. Icons. Margaret Stoll, 4.5 stars. You're not going to be able to put icons down. From the very start, Stoll sucks readers into Doll's world. The dystopian society is interesting and new. Fanatical elements balanced with plausible scientific reasoning. The strong, smart, and fiercely loyal Doll steals the book. One day, 6 cities went silent. Cars shut down, music stopped playing, hearts stopped beating. The day the Lords took over the earth, using 6 cities as an example of their power. Everyone in those cities died, but not Doll. 16 years later, she's hidden in the countryside with her best friend Ro, the other child who survived, until they're finally captured by Embassy, the human government serving the Lord. There, Doll and Ro and find other exceptions who live. Doll is inexplicably drawn to Lucas, one of the 4 survivors, who happens to be the ambassador's son. Interesting. Chosen at Nightfall. 4.5 stars. This epic conclusion to the Shadow Force series is exciting and fast paced. Hunter sucks you in, making you wish you were part of Kyle's world. Ever since Kyle arrived at Shadow Force, her life has changed. From finding out who she really is to meeting 2 incredible boys. Lucas the werewolf who's broken her heart too many times, and Derek the Fae Kyle was instantly attracted to, so leaving Shadow Force is hard. But Kyle needs time to accept that she is a chameleon. Okay. See what happens there. The fifth wave. It's in a forest. How can a wave be in a forest? Yancey's world is so realistic yet so different from ours that readers will forget they even hold the book in their hands. The alien controlled universe is the high point of the novel, hands down. Not even the smallest detail is left out. And it got 4.5 stars. After the first wave, most of the world's human population died. After the fourth wave, only the strongest and perhaps luckiest remain alive. Cassie is one of those few, and not by chance. She trusts her instincts and does everything necessary to stay alive because she is no use to her missing little brother any other way. Not for me. Okay. Oh, there's one more. Rumor Central. Do that. Rumor Central. Rashonda Tate Billingsley. Maya is self-centered and oblivious to the destruction she causes with her on-air gossip, and readers will shake their heads in as they enjoy the tale of the young and famous. When teen reality show Miami Divas is canceled, Maya Mangum, to the ire of her co-stars, is offered her own reality show, Rumor Central. Maya gets to dish celebrity gossip, and her former friends are now her bitter enemies. Because she's probably saying stuff they don't like. Right? One more. Dark Triumph. Heaven the Fears. 4 stars. Um, what is... It looks like the printing's off in this review. His Fair Assassin trilogy. Sybil balances her warrior calling and her capacity for empathy, all the while being an assassin of death. Sybil is sent home by the same nuns who trained her to become an assassin, desperate to kill her nefarious father, but unable to, as he hasn't been marked for death. Sybil does all she plans to squash and derail his plans for murder and mayhem. When she receives word from the nuns that there is someone imprisoned within her father's quarters, she must risk all to save the life. I have a problem with nuns training assassins. That just doesn't work for me. Especially in a teen book. Mm, one more. How Zoe made her dreams mostly come true. Joe Meyer fans will get excited. Zoe is funny and relatable, and she feels like a friend immediately. Like any good fairy tale princess, she's without a man, leading some death to an otherwise bubblegum plot. Zoe and her cousins Jess are thrilled to have landed dream internships at New Jersey's newest summer theme park. Internships that come with the chance of winning a huge and much needed college scholarship. Sounds good to me. Have you been to Great Adventure? Sure. It is Great Adventure, right? Yeah. Great Adventure. It's been a decade or two. Exit 7 on the turnpike? Inspirational. Martin Travel. Unwritten. For an stars, every word Martin writes seems to be purposely chosen and adds to the beautiful picture he paints with praise. Pre-steady, the longtime confident and famous actress Kate Quinn is her only centering influence when her world slowly unravels. When Kate makes another suicide attempt, Steady enlists his mysterious friend Sunday, a loner fisherman with much to hide, to help. But saving Kate isn't without cost, and Sunday must decide if it's the benefits to her and possibly to him outweigh the consequences he will face. Okay. Uh, Ow, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Let's put you over there. The daughter of Jerusalem. Born of stress. A distraught Mary is trying to make the best of life, dominated by the heartbreak, comes alive in the author's hands. Her misery is intense as her unquestioning faith in Jesus, who emotionally captivating in a manner that reaches out to readers as much as the apostles and their families within the page. Mary of Magdalene is at a mercy of the strict rules of her faith and her family at a time when women have no control over their lives. That lasts a long time. When she is forced to give up her childhood sweetheart and marry a man she cannot possibly love, she wonders why God has abandoned her. Her friendship with the loving Jesus reveals a value and purpose to her life that only He can offer. Hi. I don't think. I don't think I got this one. I don't remember picking that one up. Ah, no, I guess I didn't. Ah, shoot, don't fall. Rainy, Galley, Ethan. Nope, I didn't pick it up. So, I'll just do it without a picture. Uh, let's see if it's in the front here. It might be in the front. No. Oh, yes, it is. Look at that. Here we go. Face of Earth. Foreign stars. This amazing story is difficult to put down until the ultimate resolution. Mitch and Shelley are realistic characters who face an untenable situation with grace, yet also experience true life struggles. While attending an out-of-state conference, Mitchell Brannon's wife Jill leaves a message saying she's heading home and should be there for dinner. When she fails to arrive, Mitch enlists the help of the police and their longtime friend and neighbor Shelley, but Jill seems to have vanished. Not good. Not good at all. Not good. The Guardian, I just. All right, wait a second. Oh, here we go. The Guardian. Rich, 4.5 stars. Rich details and enchanting characters make this series third difficult to put down. Touching scenes provide contentment and peace, and the comfort quilt reminds us of this unique character is not disconnected from the English world. When Jody Winfield finds a little girl who speaks no English alongside a country road, she takes her to Hickory Hollow, a nearby Amish community. Viewed as a guardian angel, Judy is quickly accepted by the community, a practice uncommon with Englishers. She is amazed by the beauty and peace she experiences at Hickory Hollow. Was she led here for a higher purpose? Maybe. Um, did I see this one? Does this look like an inspirational book to you? But it is. 4 stars. In the final novel of the Deadly Reunions trilogy, Easton racks up the action and tension for an explosive conclusion. Jillian Carter knows it's time to return home and face the person she saw commit murder so many years ago. Yet her homecoming is not without risk, both physical and emotional. She hasn't seen her former boyfriend Colton since she fled town, and the secret keeping from him is just as terrifying to reveal as the events she witnessed. Does that sound like an inspirational book to you? Deadly Reunion series. Inspirational? You think? And the final inspiration. When the morning glory blooms. Now that looks more like an inspirational. Um, 4.5 stars. Cynthia Ruthke. Ruthke's gorgeous novel follows 3 women in different eras, all dealing with pregnancy out of wedlock. The interrelated stories show that time may change some perception, but love and faith are needed to reach out to hurting Rome. Becky, Ivy, and Anna are 3 women tied together by a similar thread. Becky's daughter Lauren is the teen mother of a baby, and the balance is difficult for their family. Ivy, whose fiance is fighting in the Korean War, is pregnant with a baby he doesn't know exists. She lives with her father and works in a nursing home. There she meets Anna, an elderly woman with fanciful but meaningful stories she shares with Ivy. As each woman experiences trials and tribulations, their love for those around them resonates. Oh. My favorite section. Second, well, yeah. Mystery and Regency, Paranormal. Those are my sections. But I still don't understand. And excuse me while I go back for a second. How does this get to be inspirational? I don't get it. But anyways, let's move on. Let's see. Daniel Palmer. Stolen. Palmer asks, "What would you do to save a loved one?" And it turns into a paranoid and shocking thriller. The characters are three-dimensional and the storyline balances the line between believability and unlikely. Wasn't there one the other day? Where was that? Was that an unboxing? It might have been in an unboxing where the guy was doing the yard work and he gets a text message that they want a couple $1,000,000 or they're going to kill his wife or something. I wonder if that was an unboxing. That might have been an unboxing because it was just it's in my head. Um John Bodine and Rudy Dawes barely escape by, but Rudy is going to school and they both hope their money problems will end when she graduates. When she learns that she has cancer and that their insurance won't cover treatment, Jake takes drastic action, assuming another person's identity to get the coverage they need. Soon the victim calls them and instead of reporting them to police, forces them to play a game with deadly consequences. I don't know. That sounds a little scary to me. Sounds a little scary to me. My damn nose today. Sorry. Um, Murder as Fine Art. David Morrell. My family tree has morels in it. It does. 4.5 stars. Morel has been delivering quality suspense for more than 40 years, and through this novel goes in a different direction from his other works is still amazing. Using actual history and real people to weave the tale of murder and mayhem, he has drafted his best thriller in years. A series of brutal murders terrorized London in 1811, almost 80 years before the case of Jack the Ripper. In 1854, the author Thomas De Quincey publishes an essay on crimes. Shortly thereafter, a vicious attack leaves several dead in the same manner as depicted in his story. Of course, he's the lead suspect. Is he? Did he do it? Who's using his work as their game plan? Thomas De Quincey, famous for his memoir Confessions of an English Opium Eater, is the major suspect in a series of ferocious mass murders identical to the ones that terrorized London 43 years earlier. Interesting. Smoke! Oh, that was Sandy. Smokey sleeping. Sandy! When the Devil Arrives. Do I have this one? I don't. Oh, it's staring me right in the face. I'm looking right at it. When the Devil Arrives, Christopher Bookmere. 4.5 stars. Known for his humorous mysteries, Scotsman's Bookmere has a new, darker series set in Glasgow. Book 2 is excellent with strong writing and a richly detailed setting. The well-developed characters are not friends nor are they enemies. A nice change in a two detective. Let's just put this down to Scotland Yard. Did you see my Scotland Yard video, I did Scotland Yard. It was hard to find all those. Sandy, come here. Come over here. Move my books. See if she'll come up here. Come here, Sandy. Come on, Sandy. Naked guy on the cover alert. For later. Sandy! Sandy! Where you going? She's going upstairs. Okay, wait, wait. P.I. Jamie Sharp is searching for Tessa Garrison, a talented young actress who seems to have dropped off the earth. In the 80s, Detective Superintendent Catherine McLeod has much more prominent case. A member of the Scots arts community is shot dead at performance held at an ancient castle. The case proves to be connected, and someone is determined to protect secret past. No matter who has to die, drugs, occult scenes, and important people are getting past actions make a very dangerous mix. Let me just put this down to land. You may see this in Scotland. It doesn't quite go across as a cozy though, but we might could do a cozy plus extras type thing. We could do that. Now that I just moved everything. I just saw this. I just literally saw it. MJ Rose seduction. That doesn't look very seductive. This tale creates suspense by intertwining a ghost story, a reincarnation plot, and a gothic. Then okay, now I get it. It's gothic. Mythologist and perfumer Jack Atoll accepts a friend's invitation to visit the Isle of Jersey to study an ancient Celtic sites and help him find A Lost Journey by Victor Hugo. She ignores her therapist's warnings that somewhat fragile psyche could be in danger. Things are odd in Jersey. With Hugo's seance-induced ghosts appearing to others, Jackie experiences blackouts and visions brought on by the strange smells. Although Jack has always resisted the idea of reincarnation and the ideas that she might be in danger, both may be true. Great child. She was screaming her little bloody head off. You know, does your cat meow? And you're like, what? And they're like, meow. And you're like, what? And they're meow. And you're like, what? And then they're meow. So you get up and they're just like, oh, that wasn't me. And they do bath or something. What's the matter, Miss Sandy? Say hi. Everybody's camera shy in this house. Hello. Hello. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Sandy. What's the matter, Sandy? She's nervous today. Here's my little girl. You leave your brother alone now. Go on. So let's see, where were we? Well, we finished this page. Let's see. My lady, if you have not watched all of my Victoria Thompson books, Sarah Brandt and Frank Malloy. This is in the early 1890s. And Sarah Brandt is a midwife, and Frank Malloy was a detective. and she starts helping him out on cases. And in the beginning of the series, she's estranged from her parents. As the series progresses, they make up, they come to terms, they start talking, they become friendly, they become family again. Sarah adopts 2 girls, and we have Mrs. Ellsworth. And I did there's 25 thus far. I'm patiently waiting for 26. And after I finished the whole series, if you go check out I did all of them, all the books. And that's why we learned our sign language here. For Brian, because Frank's kid is deaf. And Mrs. Ellsworth. I did an entire video on Mrs. Ellsworth's sayings. I love Mrs. Ellsworth's sayings. So, and you'll have to check it out. It's really a good series. I really enjoyed the heck out of it. So this is Murder in Chelsea. 4.5 stars. Thompson's latest gaslight mystery is an intense, well-plotted puzzle that will keep you turning the pages. Her characters are engaging, and the relationship between Frank and Sarah is still dynamic. Midwife Sarah Brandt learns that someone is attempting to reclaim the abandoned child that she has taken. A woman claiming to be a young Catherine's former nursemaid said she left the child at the Daughters of Hope mission in order to protect her from a threat of violence. When police detective Frank Malloy attempts to interview the woman, he discovers that she has been murdered. I remember this one. Little Catherine. It turns out pretty good. And it leads to a good thing. And then I think it's the next book or the book after that I wonder if it's in here. I love the fact that trying to see. Yes. It's here. The little spoiler alert if you haven't seen the series. I love the series. We've been hoping. It's like book 17. It's a late book. It's 14, 15, 16, 17. This is 224 to 5, 6. So 13th or 14th book into the series, maybe 15th book. She credits a classmate of hers in school with coming up with the idea that gave her the light bulb moment to figure out a way, because we all were hoping that Frank and Sal would get together. And these books are totally PG. There's no adult stuff in them at all. There's like a kiss or two, but that's it. There's nothing else. And she says, one of my classmates, David Wilbanks, decided to enter the proposed contest by offering a list of suggestions. Since David never read the series and knew practically nothing about it, he wasn't hindered by any of the facts that prevented me from seeing a solution, and he sent me a list of suggestions. None of them were exactly right, but one of them triggered the idea I eventually chose. Dave suggested that Frank inherit a fortune. And that's what happened. Frank inherits money, and that way he is able to marry Sarah. I love this series. You have to check it out. I need this separate because it's mine. I did a thing last week, and I accidentally took my book back to the library. See, when you take we're gonna do these in a minute. So when you take a book, see, the book was on the shelf like this, okay? And I took the book and I put it on the shelf like this so I would see it. I accidentally knocked the bookcase. The book fell over, fell on the bag of books, went to the library, and I never noticed that it was mine when I returned it. And now it was given to the shop. It may show up in the shop eventually. It's got to go through some stuff, but no one admits to seeing it, so who knows what happened. Somebody may have just taken it. I don't know. So where was we? Lucky Bastards. Deborah Kuntz. I moved all these books for Sandy. Now I gotta put them all back. And she's at the bottom of the pile. I tried to put these in order. I'm never good at that. Ah, lucky Deborah Koontz, lucky bastard. 4.5 stars. The fast, funny, frantic Vegas set series offers great laughs as well as compelling mystery, and intriguing characters continue. You want to spend more time with Lucky, the daughter of a former madam and a mobster. Lucky O2 is a VP of customer relations for the Babylon Casino Resort. As usual, she seems to have a part-time job as a detective. Called out of bed early, she finds a dead woman sprawled on the hood of a red Ferrari, a stiletto heel embedded in her neck. Lucky sometime suitor Paxton Dame found her, and worse, Lucky is sure he isn't telling her everything. He's keeping some secrets. Not good. You must tell everything, especially to your best friend. You must, you must, you must, you must, you must, you must, you must. Bat in the belfry. Oh, we should use this. I think I have it already, but we shall see. Sarah Graves. 4 stars. Nobody else can take a home repair project and turn it into a first-class mystery the way Graves can. It's top-of-the-line story wrapped around teenage thugs and drug dealing. When a teenage girl is murdered in the belfry of the All Faith Chapel in Eastport, Maine, Jacobia J. Tiptree, house guest, comes under suspicion. Though she's sworn off amateur investigative work, Jake knows she's one of the few who believe in her house guest's innocence. She forms an uneasy alliance with a newcomer to Eastport, former police detective Lizzie Snow, who's in town to find clues to her sister's death 6 years ago, and finds her missing niece. All this happens as a pounding storm slams into their coastal town. Interesting. Damn, I didn't look for that one. Widow's Tears. Susan Whiting Albert. Albert put a personal face on Galveston hurricane of 1900, which also claimed the lives of thousands. She also seamlessly merges time periods. No easy task. China Bales and Ruby Wilcox own a shop that offers homeopathic care, ranging from plants to tea to tarot cards. Ruby's semi-psychic abilities are put to the test when she is called to exorcise a ghost in a house. The ghost, Rachel Blackwood, is filled with grief after the entire family was wiped out in a hurricane over a century area. Flashbacks explain the tragedy of the devastation and the despair that Rachel can't seem to let go of. See what happens there. Um, the Crypt Thief. Yes, that's it better. 4 stars. Haunting imagery in Pierre Lachaise Cemetery sets the stage for Pryor's chilling sophomore entry, and the city of life becomes the backdrop of Marston's adventures. When the son of a U.S. senator and his girlfriend are murdered in Paris Pierre Lachaise Cemetery, in front of Jim Morrison's grave, a serial killer known as Scarab comes to light. Regional Security Officer Hugo Marston and his CIA buddy Tom Green must discover why the man is also desecrating graves and removing bones. Their search leads them to the underbelly of Paris, the famous Moulin Rouge, and a suspected terrorist. Complicating the investigation is the senator who wants the matter treated as an all-out terrorist alert, while Marston believes they should head in a different direction. See what happens there. That one. Oh, we didn't do that one. So Carolyn Hart. Ah, red, white, and blue. Dead white and blue. Um, I just saw this. Four stars. The Death on Demand series are classically tailored, sprinkled with southern charm and ambience. The Death on Demand bookstore is busy catering to the summer tourist, and Anne is looking forward to the 4th of July festivities at the local country club. Young and beautiful Shell Hurst is also looking forward to the festivities for a reason of her own. When Shell makes her grand entrance and then later disappears, everyone thinks she has left the island. Shell's stepdaughter thinks differently, and Annie and Max agree. Annie questions a waiter at the country club, and later the same waiter is found floating in the harbor. You should try it. This is the second book. So, let's go get the series and check this out. Let's go. Say you'll see a review for this in a couple of weeks. We'll have to go check this out. This is an early one. See? 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 See what happens? You find a book early in the series and you still have it and you're like, cool beans, let's go check it out. Let's put this one over here. So we're going to go check that one out. Will you read it with me? What's the first? The first one. The first one in the series is Death Comes Silently. Let's all get that one. Okay. So that's the end of mystery. Now we are into sci-fi. And a name that's been around a while. The Human Division. John Scalzi, 4.5 stars. Originally published as a weekly e-serial, the episodes of Scalzi's latest Old Man War Tale come together nicely in what proves to be an immensely entertaining novel. Earth has cut its ties with the human colonial union after learning that the CU was using them as a farm for colonial defense forces, soldiers, and off-world colonists. Little does Earth know that in a mere 30 years the human race will be extinct. The CU is determined to get back on the planet's good side through diplomatic relations taken by the Rag Team B of Clark. But after their efforts are continuously thwarted by coincidental disruptions, the crew realizes the missions are being sabotaged. Sabotage. Bronze Gods. A. Aguirre. That looks steampunky. I'm not sure. Let me look here. Yep. Steampunky. Intricate world building and complex characters are the result of an intriguing new collaboration between Anne Maguire and her husband Andres. Janice Miki and Celeste Rucco worked the night shift for the Criminal Investigation Division, and they are quite an unusual pair. Team Maguire delivers protagonists whose strengths and weaknesses complement each other. The search for the missing daughter of one of the city's powerful houses puts pressure on CID inspectors McCann and Risco. When a missing girl turns up brutally murdered, the question is not only why she was killed, but how. Mickey and Risco begin to suspect there is a madman on the loose who is using a horrific and dangerous combination of magic and technology. The trail will lead the team for elegant mansions to the gritty underground as they work feverishly to stop a killer before time runs out. See. And you must know Mr. Sanderson. Do you know Mr. Sanderson? Have you heard of Mr. Sanderson? The Arithmetist. I should show this to a friend of mine. She reads math for fun. Yep, I said it. She reads math for fun. Sanderson's first novel for the young adult is set in a fascinating, fun introduction to a promising series. Joel is a likable hero who impressively quick thinking and astonishing breadth of understanding. Let's see. C. For most of the 16 years, Joel has been fascinated by arithmetics, a mystical military method of attack and defense performed by drawing chalk circles that take on magical properties. Unfortunately, while Joe's status as the son of a staff member at Amadeus Academy Arithmetic Training School earns him a tuition-free education, his lack of natural arithmetic ability forces him to study normal subjects with other non-arithmetic students. But when a series of apparent kidnappings of gifted young arithmetists rocks the campus, Joel, his friend Melody, and their teacher, Professor Finch, make some unexpected discoveries. That wasn't about math like I thought it was. I thought it was about math. I was wrong. So that's sci-fi. And we are on to romantic suspense. And if you asked me, I would have said romance. I would have not said suspense. And I probably have this book. I just didn't go upstairs and look. Because we did the Edge, the Against series. They're all against the odds and against the sun or something. We did these a while back. There's nothing quite like a visit with Martin's crew of ex-military private detectives. These guys are the real deal, sinfully sexy, patriotic, and completely protective. This time Martin takes a man who shields his heart and throws a sexy, sympathetic social worker in his path. From the moment he sees the beautiful social worker standing on his front porch, former Navy SEAL Ben Slocum knows his life is about to change. And he's right. Claire Chaston has news. First, that he's the father to a son named Sam he's never knew about. And second, the child has been abducted. A man with a grudge against Claire and the boy's dead mother has taken the boy to a paramilitary encampment. And now Ben has to go rescue him. Oh, look. Semi-naked guy on the cover. Ah. Oh, I didn't even look for the Joe Davis. Ah, really naked guy on the cover. Is she naked too? Yeah. Some kind of top. Sworn to protect. 4.5 stars. What's not to love about sexy men in blue with fast hands? Oops. The courage of their convictions. Davis certainly knows how to draw the perfect balance of vulnerability and strength. When Detective Shane Ford falls hard for fellow cop Daisy Callahan, he pushes her away, not ready to be tied down. It's too bad because he needs Daisy's help when he becomes an instant dad to a troubled teenager. When his best friend, NFL star Brad Cooper, suddenly dies of what appears to be a drug overdose, Shane becomes the team's guardian. When he tries to navigate the path of fatherhood, he also becomes embroiled in the mystery of Brad's death. See what happens there. And I have lost. There it is. This. I I didn't get this one. Is there a picture? I don't think there's a picture. I didn't look for one. I'll look against the edge in a better full page. Uh, let's just take a quick look and see. I never even looked for Jill Chavez, the queen of second chances. Who's on the... Guess not. No. She wasn't even in this, was she? No. Those are old books. So no, there's no picture. There's the thing. I didn't even see it before. How I lost it. Gonna have to talk about Miss... Oh, they're talking about models. I was like, oh, they're talking about Miss Hawkins. What did I miss? But they're talking about the male models on the cover. There was a big article about that in here. So I don't have a cover. I was supposed to have a book, and I don't have it. It'll show up later. Um, Elizabeth Lowell, Dangerous Refuge. Elizabeth Lowell, 4.5 stars. Lowell's romantic suspense cred is on a vivid display in this new tale of romance set in a small town near the Sierra Nevada mountains. The fate of the historic family ranch forces an easy alliance between the protagonists who are determined to uncover the truth. Lowell was a master of bringing life to characters with both human and passion flaws. Due to a family falling out, LAPD homicide cop Tanner Davis has not visited the old David Ranch outside the small town of Refuge for many years. However, the sudden death of his uncle forces a return. When Tanner arrives, he discovers that the Environmental Conservancy is expected to inherit the ranch as part of its preservation of its historic ranches. Shane Townsend has been working on the deal with Lauren, but she was out of town when her boss attempted to get the paper signed. The paperwork was wrong and infuriated Lauren concealed the deal. Shane consequently found Lauren's body and suspects something is wrong there. That sounds like it. Sounds like it. I don't see that. I think. Ah. Midnight Secrets, Grace Ella. Naked guy on the cover. Ella Grace. 4 stars. Her alternate ego is Christy Reese. I have some of Christy Reese's books. Following their parents' infamous deaths, triplets Savannah, Samantha, and Sabrina were lovingly raised by their paternal grandfather Daniel Wild. Now a prosecutor in Nashville, Savannah's life is taken threatened by a convicted killer from her most recent case. After her grandfather's death, the girls avoided midnight, but now Savannah returns to the old family mansion. Savannah also wants to avoid new police chief Zach Turner, who broke her heart as a teenager. I see romance there. I see romance there. Midnight Secrets. We did that. Bear It All. Laurie Foster. Naked guy on the cover. I can see it now. Should have looked for this one too. It's probably over there. Oh, he's got a shirt on. This guy down here that doesn't have a shirt on. We'll have to do the brother series, the Simon series. We'll have to do that one day. Bear It All, Laurie Foster. Foster heads back to Love Undercover, picking up the tale of taking out human traffickers. While the story is packed with all the people we know and love, it doesn't quite gel like the last one. We don't like human trafficking. It's very, 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 very bad. And if you need help, please seek help any way you can. Slipping on a note to a stranger, giving us, doing anything you can to get out. Call 911. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Get out. Detective Reese Barden likes his quiet neighbor Alice and is really grateful that she likes his dog, because otherwise he would never get a smile out of her. However, she keeps throwing him off balance by doing things like jumping in to save him with a Glock in her hand. Alice Appleton has survived human trafficking before and has been responsible for taking them down. She is watchful and prepared for any eventuality except the hot detective and his dog. Okay. Um, Rage. Deborah Webb. Faces of Evil. For a woman who's been back in her Alabama hometown for a few weeks, former FBI agent Jess Harris has seen more action than she most seen in years. With a penchant for action and keenly sharp intelligence, heroine Jess is charmingly vulnerable under her tough cop exterior. Jess Harris, chief of the Nuke Major Crimes Unit, is called to the scene of the savage murder of a cop's wife. Does her old nemesis Eric Spears have anything to do with it, or is someone trying to send a message to the cop? We shall see. Midnight Secrets, the last one. Oh wait, we did that one. So maybe that's it. Oh, I have it twice. I have it twice. I listed it twice. That's why. Okay. All right, we shall move on to contemporary romance. Lou Anne McLean, Whisper's Edge. Visiting Cricket, Kentucky feels like coming home once again. It's a true joy to watch the growth of the hero and heroine's relationship. Savannah Perry is introduced to Tristan McKillen, the new owner of Whisper's Edge Retirement Community, when he unnecessarily rescues her from drowning. As a social director of the community, Savannah is pleased that the previous owner's grandson has purchased it. That is until she discovers his plans for it. See what happens there. The Apple Orchard, Susan Wiggs. This brilliant and epic family drama disguised as a romance fills the senses. The sense of bounty tantalizes the beauty of Samoa in a visual, and the touch of a hand or kiss can be vividly felt. As a Providence specialist at auction house, Tess Delaney delves into other people's past, partly because she finds her own so lacking. In an instant, she discovers a family she never knew, bringing up secrets and mysteries dating back before World War II. Tess is shocked to learn that grandfather she never knew is in a coma, that she has been named to inherit his apple orchard in Samoa, along with a woman named Isabella Johansson, her half sister. See what happens there. Sure. No strings attached. Kate Angel. A little white. There we go. Angel's enchanting, warm-hearted story gives readers a double dose of romance filled with wonderful, engaging characters, including an endearing heroine. I should fix this. Sophie Saunders had a good crush on a volleyball pro, Dwayne Cates, when she was 7 and he was 18. And time has not just diminished her feelings, just deepened them. Since her brother's marriage to Dwayne's sister, a feud between the families has become less hostile. The open door for Sophie to work for the Cates family has and see more of Dwayne. For Dwayne, the age difference, along with the chaos of his life and demands of his career, places Sophie off limits. See what happens there. Um, Half Moon Hill, Tony Blake. I've seen that someplace else. It's gonna bother me. I know I've seen it someplace else. You know you can expect two things from Destiny, Ohio. A story that'll be heartfelt and sexy. Half Moon Hill is no exception. The relationship that began with the first few books in the series are revisited and expanded throughout, so it may be a good idea to be familiar with the families of Destiny. Each intimate scene between Anna and Duke opens them up more vulnerability. Leaving her troubled past behind, Anna Romero sets her sights on fixing up a charming but battered Victorian house, hoping to make it a B&B. Ex-biker gang member Duke Dawson is looking to find his way in Destiny when an accident scars his body and soul. When Anna stumbles across him living in a meager cabin in the woods on her property, they come to an understanding. She'll keep his secret that he's in town and living as a hermit, and he'll help her do the heavy lifting around the house. Ah, ah, cowboy, take me away. She's gone off like 25 times this morning. I need to take those batteries out. She can't tell time. I almost said Calgon. Do you remember those old commercials? The soap, the bathtub soaking Calgon, take me away. Cowboy, take me away. Sorry, I don't know. Um, 4.5 stars. Graves kicks off her new Rainbow Valley series with a truly heartwarming romance, featuring a wounded hero who needs the heroine's healing power of love. After 11 years away, Luke Dawson returns to Rainbow Valley, Texas for his father's funeral, a loss for which he feels no grief. Determined to win the world champion bull riding competition, Luke takes a detour along the way. After he injures his knee, he ends up as a temporary caretaker for the Rainbow Valley Animal Shelter and working for Shannon North, the girl he left behind in a parting that was not amicable. So I guess they're going to get back together. So that would have been a good one for a second chance if I'd known about him. If you haven't done the second chances, please do that. And don't forget, new releases is coming up too. Um, Hill, Barefoot in the Sun. Sam Sinclair, Barefoot in the Sun. 4 stars. St. Clair's novel takes you back to Barefoot Bay, Florida. The genuine warm characters who inhabit the coastal town. Zoe Tamari is always on the run. Years ago, she was saved from a nightmare childhood when she spirited away by her neighbor Pasha. Years later, she meets and falls in love with Dr. Oliver Bradbury, but takes off after she divulges her secret past. Zoe is back in Oliver's life again, 9 years later, as Oliver tries to make a new start with his 8-year-old son. See what happens there. And Oh, one more. Donna Kaufman, Honey Pie. We can just do it like that. 4 stars. Kaufman's Cupcake Club series continues with the story of another troubled woman moving to the island community of Sugarberry. This heartwarming tale of two loners finding each other has slight paranormal bent. Members of the Cupcake crew from earlier books make entertaining appearances. After driving across country to claim her inheritance, Honey d'Armel is dismayed to find that the property she intended to use as both home and shop is occupied by a cupcake business. To make matters worse, her ancient car has broken down and she's stuck on the small island community. Everything is further complicated by Honey's gift curse. If she touches someone, she has visions of future events affecting them. Luckily, when handsome, sexy car mechanic Dylan Ross discovers her strange ability, he takes it in stride and helps her integrate into the community. Okay. All right. On to paranormal. Shoot, I just got ink all over my finger. Heart of Iron. Steampunk. Steampunk. Steampunk alert. That's 2 steampunks in one. McMaster's second London steampunk book dazzles and seduces, diving deeper into this remarkable world. She crafts complicated, damaged, and driven characters whose unlikely passion is unforgettably powerful. For 3 years, Lena Todd and Werewolfen Will Carver have played to a dangerous game of desire. Even though Lena turned her back on her life in Whitechapel to become the toast of the bloodthirsty echelon, a dark hunger continues to bring them together. When Will discovers that Lena is carrying coded messages that tie her to rebel humanists and arsonists at work in Whitechapel, he realizes it's time to put flirtation aside and protect the woman he loves. Aww. In the tweet. Um, Alyssa Day, The Cursed. Did I get this one? This chick is supposed to be local. I don't know if she is or not, but I read her in the early stages of her career, and the books were good because her early books are a lot like Gina Showalter's, a lot, and I mean that's just my opinion. And she took it just didn't work for me because she took vampires and put them underwater in Atlantis. It just didn't work for me. And she put them at the ocean front, which was just it didn't work for me that either. But this is a little different. The Cursed. It's always a pleasure to venture into the world created by uber talented Day, and this first book in her new League and the Black Swan series is a prime example of why. An orphan, Rio Jones knows nothing of her heritage or background. Her one unique skill is her ability to pick up on people's thoughts, which can come in handy in the dangerous streets of Bordertown. Bordertown exists in a dimensional fold amidst the streets of Manhattan. In all manner of paranormal creatures and some humans live and work, but under Wild West conditions. After witnessing a kidnapping, Rio approaches Bordertown BI and Dark Wizard Luke Oliver for help. Oh, a naked guy on the cover. Uh, yeah. So they were what I was talking about before about the vampires underwater. It's the Atlantis Rising, the Atlantis Awakening, the Atlantis Unleashed, the Atlantis Unmasked, the Atlantis Redeemed, the Atlantis Betrayed, Vampire in Atlantis, Heart of Atlantis. I just couldn't. I just couldn't. You never know, that might be them. And I gotta take this one off and put this one over here. Because when I looked, I found mine. Um, Sarah Humphries, Undone, 4.5 stars. Humphries Amove kicks into high gear with this latest installment, with favorite characters returning and the introduction of some charming new ones. Marina Colteri is unaware that she is in danger from Purus, the MOV group that believes its members should not mate with humans. As a precaution, her brother Dane has hired a human bodyguard to keep an eye on her. Since the bodyguard is human, Marina must be careful not to use her powers in front of him. Human Pete Castro feels an explosive attraction to Marina, and he'll do anything, no matter how, to protect her. Oh, a naked guy on the cover. Go figure. I don't have this one, but I used to have a lot of her books. I don't know what happened to them. She might have gone in the purge, and I'm really pissed off that I did that. Jean Johnson, The Tower. Uh, Johnson creates a new spin-off series from her popular Sons of Destiny novel. That's what I had, the Sons of Destiny. I considered them more erotica. Carrick Vo Moss is a master of mage and guardian of the tower that serves as an entertainment hub for the wealthy mirror scrying images, who can view adventures from around the world as they take the tower's dangerous challenges for fame and fortune. On Carrick's only day off in a year, an attack is launched against the tower. To regain control of the tower, Carrick will require a skilled partner, one who can wield a weapon as well as passion. See what happens there. As Twilight Falls, Amanda Ashley. Ashley is one of those authors you can count on for first-class, untamed romance, as Twilight Falls is an easygoing read that still manages to be gripping. Taking a wrong turn and ending up in a strange town results in a series of consequences for Katie Andrews. Morgan Creek is essentially a ghost town, and when twilight falls, it becomes something else entirely. Physically unable to leave town, Katie soon meets the founder Morgan Creek. Ryland St. Croix is the master vampire, and he has some specific plans for Katie. His passion for her is overwhelming, and one thing that she simply doesn't reciprocate. But Rylan has no qualms about keeping a prisoner until she feels the same. Oh, yay! Laura Wright, Eternal Demon. Wright draws us into a world where demons and vampires, both of the purebred kind and muted kind, clash in an effort to gain an ultimate prize. Determined to get back the son that was stolen from him by the evil vampire Kruin, vampire demon Eron kidnaps Kruin's newest bride, Helen, daughter of the Demon King. Abandoned and expecting a dainty damsel, Aaron gets a fierce warrior instead, one to whom he's undeniably attracted to. Oh, look, and naked guy on the cover. Uh, if I can do this. Predatory. Alexander, Ivy, Nina Bangs, Diane Duval, and Hannah Jane. These four fabulous authors give us a little taste of their vampire worlds. In Out of Control, Ivy launches a new series featuring immortal sentinel Niccolo, who is trying to guard a lovely young scientist who doesn't realize that her gifted handling of genetic material has put her in the crosshairs of a killer. However, he cannot seem to guard his heart and bangs ties that bind. A frightened girl is rescued from a funeral home by a vampire. Duval takes us to her immortal guardian's world in still darkness, where Rickard is unable to keep away from a red-headed human, even though he knows that vampire hunting humanity don't mix. In Jane's sexy fashionista Nina Lachey of High Stakes may be in New York City to promote her designs, but will her sexy barbs and killer outfits be enough to save her when the prime suspect in a murder? We shall see. I wish I had this one. I looked and looked and looked. I have the one before it, but I don't have. I might just do it without a picture. Let me just take one quick look. But we had two authors. Both quit. I should put this That's a Kimi. I had two authors stop writing their series at book 13. And one author, I'm very, very appreciative of the fact that after she tried something else, she came back to Rachel. That's Kim Harrison came back to her Rachel series. Charlene Harris, on the other hand, I guess she considers that she's successful enough with Gunny Rose and doesn't need to come back to Sookie. I do not. I read the first couple Gunny Rose and it just didn't do it for me. So, I don't read those at all. But anyways, I'll just do this real quick. Lynn Veal, Nightbound, 4 stars. Neil's third book in the Lords of Dark series. I have all the others. Will definitely please fans, though it's a little hard to swallow that Kane's stronghold is disguised as a medieval thumb park. Dr. S. Stewart is known for her extraordinary theories regarding the Templar Knights. She's totally unaware that Kane are supporting her program financially and taking an active interest in her work, so it's a complete surprise when they send Handsome Beau to act as her assistant and protector. The last thing Alyssa expected was to feel undeniable attraction to her protector. Alright, now, the woman I was just talking about. She did do... Oh, there's another book here I want to talk about too. I mentioned it earlier. We'll do this one first. She left Sookie. She does do a little... What did I do with it? Wait a second, let me look. It's right there. So, Kim Harrison thankfully came back to Rachel. But she didn't. She dropped Sookie off. She just ended it. And so, this is... I brought a couple. So this is the last book in the series. This is the cleanup book. This is what happened to everybody after this book. She did a little synopsis, little small, itty bitty. See how small it is? It's a little... Let's see. Little large paperback, small. But this was the cleanup book of all the characters, what happened to them after the series ended. I didn't. I wanted this. I wanted this to go on. I still want this to go on. And I've asked Charlene about it a couple times, and I've gotten a, no, it's done. It's over. Sookie is done. And I'm hoping one day she'll come back to it. Her and that Gunny Rose. I've got a couple of them over there. Like I said, I read the first couple, and I just didn't get into it. And I was like, nope, that's it. So if Charlene Harrison does the Sookie book again, I'll be number one on the list to go get it. But until that point, that's the end of Charlene Harris for me. But if you've seen my series, I recently did the latest Kim Harrison book. So, let's just wait a minute. One of the most beloved vampire series ever published comes to a satisfying and fitting end with the release of Dead Ever After. Sookie Saga has taken this charming and initially innocent young woman on a voyage of supernatural discovery that has truly tested her endurance. Oh, and don't forget, True Blood is the vampire HBO series that goes with this. I have this. I should have brought them out. I didn't even think about it. After having used the coverable door to resurrect Sam, Sookie finds that her own life is once again in turmoil. Sam is processing having died, and Eric is caught up in a vampire politics and still upset with Sookie for having used the coverable door. But trouble really arrives when a shocking murder is perpetrated as Sookie scarfed, despite his wrecking Using Suki's scarf. Despite his weak evidence, Suki is arrested. Someone is out to destroy Suki and willing to do anything to succeed. In this dangerous time, Suki is about to find out who her true friends are. Okay. And then we have the complete Suki Stackhouse. These are all the short stories. And then this is the cleanup book. Dead Ever After marked the end of the Suki Stackhouse series, novels that garnered millions of fans and spawned the HBO television series True Blood. It also stoked a hunger that will never die, a hunger to know what happened next. With characters arranged alphabetically from ancient pianist to Bethany Zanelli, bestselling author Harris takes fans into the future of their favorite residents of Bon Tons and environs. You'll learn how Michelle and Jason's marriage fared, what happened to Suki's cousin Hunter, and whether Tara and JB's twins grew up to be solid citizens. And while we're at it, let's go back here. And why did she do this? So long, Suki. We first met waitress Suki Stackhouse in May of 2001. She was a self-conscious, sheltered young woman living a quiet life with her beloved grandmother. Burdened with the ability to read people's minds, Suki struggled to shut out the noisy and occasionally nasty thoughts of her fellow Bon Temps residents. But in Dead Until Dark, she crossed paths with vampire Bill Compton, and her life changed forever. Intrigued by a man whose thoughts she couldn't read, Suki was quickly pulled into a bizarre paranormal world of adventure and mystery over the course of 12 books. We've watched Suki tangle with vamps, werewolves, and fairies, and embrace her inner and outer tough cookie. With this final installment, Dead Ever After, we must bid farewell to our intrepid heroine. One of my favorite things about the series is how you've really charted this well-defined character arc for Suki. She's been a dynamic heroine who's truly grown, and had to reassess whether her telepathy is a curse or a gift. I'm glad you call it well-defined. I call it flying blind, but it only makes sense that the reactions of the people and the creatures around her would cause Suki to reevaluate her disability. While I can assure you that our readers find all the books fun to read, which of the books were the most fun for you to write? I've discovered some fascinating days writing Suki's adventures, discovering that Bill has been sent to seduce Suki if necessary. He'd been on a mission and a real revelation, and I was horrified, indefinitely dead. We know that the Southern Vampire short series set in the Southern Vampire worlds, but with the rising popularity of e-novels, would you ever consider setting another long-form story in Sukiverse? That's not too likely. That's what she says to that. Like I said, I asked you about that, and then they go in to talk about the Rose thing, and I didn't like that. I didn't like that series at all. And this last book, I've collected them. Yeah, that's the last. I've collected this. I'm missing a couple from the series, and I will buy them when I see them. I've been buying them all, but I'm not going to read them until Ash and Nick make up. Until I know the makeup has occurred, and Sherilyn will not tell ever. She does. If you haven't seen it or don't know, every Thursday, or almost not, once or twice a month, maybe sometimes more than that, but at least once or twice a month, 8 p.m. on her Facebook page or on YouTube, you can find Sherilyn and her friend of hers, Carol, I think her name is. They do a weekly 1-hour podcast. And I've asked Sherilyn on several different occasions, and she won't give spoilers. Will not tell when. She hints that they will someday, but they haven't yet. So until that book is written, I'm not going to read them. Until I know it's actually happened, I am not going to read the books. because I don't like the fact that Ash and Nick are fighting. I just don't like it at all. So we have Inferno. Changing the future or past, as it were, isn't a piece of cake. Future Nick and young Nick want to stop the timeline where Nick destroys everything he cares about. But it won't be easy. Nick Gautier has fast become Kenyon's most intriguing character. When Grimm told Nick that his girlfriend Nicola Kennedy is supposed to kill him, Nick didn't want to believe him, but once confronted, Nicola has to admit she was there to stop Nick from becoming the Malachi and destroying the world. Hurt, Nick breaks off the relationship and suddenly finds himself pursued by a popular cheerleader, Casey Woods. There are many players wanting to destroy Nick and his Malachi father, and the mechanisms are getting deadlier by the minute. So that was that one. And this one, if you, I'm an idiot. All right. I'm stupid. I didn't see this coming. But I had the entire series. And I donated. And they're gone. I should have kept them because it would look like an interesting series. But I donated the whole set. So a couple of weeks ago, go check out my Gina Cox video. I show them all. I go in order. I go in reading order. And it looked like a good series with sci-fi and politics mixed in together. So this is Alien in the House. AC got 4.5 stars. AC ambassadors Kitty and Jeff Martini and their ever-expanding gang of humans and aliens return for another highly entertaining dose of dangerous and wildly offbeat adventures. When the new congressional representative from New Mexico dies, holding Kitty's hand while in the Centurion embassy, she's determined to find out who killed him and why. Was he the target or just collateral damage? As Kitty and crew target investigating, they discover that a frightening number of congressional people have died. You'll have to check that out. All right, now let's see if we can do this. I didn't even look. I should have looked. Let's see. Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn. Shoot, this video is going to take 30 hours to upload. Let's see. The Matchmaker Happy. Okay. Matchmaker's Happy Ending. Marnie Franklin, Boston's most successful matchmaker, doesn't believe in true love. After too many failed relationships, she'd given up when the cab driver smacks right into the silver sports car one night and the cabbie drives off. The car's gorgeous driver offers her a ride home. Investor Jack Knight is immediately intrigued by Marion. She agrees to date and sparks fly, but Jack and Marnie's workaholic habits may interfere with their romance. Let's see. And Harlequin Blaze. Waking Up to You. Four stars, Lily Kelly. Film costume designer Candace Reed has agreed to marry her best friend, Hollywood hunk Thomas Shane, as his beard. But when her beloved grandfather breaks a hip on his rundown vineyard estate, she rushes to his aid. After a late-night run-in with hunky groundskeeper, exiled Los Angeles Assistant DA Oliver McKean, a relationship ensues. Keeper of the Shadow. Keeper of the Shadow. Um, 4 stars. Barry Griffith, old canyon keeper of the shapeshifters in Los Angeles, needs help solving the nearly decades-old murder of an actor. After the decision to remake the movie that killed him sets off a new killing spree, She turns to fellow reporter Mick Townsend for help, but Barry quickly learns that Mick has his own secrets. See what happens there. Alright. Let me just see if, before I lose this, if she has a book in here. Sarah Rashan. Let's see if she's in the. Okay, she is. So, you know that there's Harlequins, race car drivers, Harlequins for doctors, Harlequins for police, firemen, Harlequin for doctors, Harlequin for sheiks, Harlequins for everybody. Here we go. Kimi. Kimi. There's Roshan up there. Um, Carter Drayson is a confident in his baking abilities at his grandmother's bakery. Lillian's an inability to sweep women off their feet, but he has no plans to stop his philandering ways until he lays eyes on Lorraine Hawthorne Hayes, heir to a Jewy fortune. Lorraine was fooled once by a handsome face and exercises caution when it comes to giving a heart to someone else. Learning to trust is hard for Lorraine, and yielding to his heart is foreign to Carter. Can they get past it? And where did I see? I just searched. Ah, here we go. So we'll go through these and then we'll call it a day. Okay. We did the first one already. So those are the Kimmies. We did Rochelle. So let's Platinum Promises by Zuri Day. Dr. Faye Buckner loves helping people and is excited about opening a free clinic in California. While at a party, she administers CPR to a 100-year-old man. The man's family, including his great-grandson Dexter Drake, are all indebted to her. Drake is the heir to a winery and report a man used to getting his own way, and he has his eyes on Faye. Love Contract by Lisa Watson. Adrian Anderson is tired of his mother playing matchmaker and has made it clear he is not interested in dating. However, through his mother, he meets Milan Dixon and hires her as his employee, and they end up falling in love. 2 stars. Monica Macon, Tropical Fantasy. Sasha Winters is a self-proclaimed workaholic who so forces his life to make partner at law firm. While in the Bahamas for her sister's wedding, she gets reacquainted with the best man, Vince Sullivan, and they fall in love. So that is that. I didn't even look for the I didn't even look at the Harlequins. I mean the eroticers. Um to we got one here. Shayla Black. Hours to Love. The Santiago brothers give Cain and Abel a run for their money as they battle inner demons and each other. Into this mix comes London, who is a wounded bird, and the brothers are drawn to. Alexander is content with extreme lifestyle, but he's also concerned about his brother's descent into the bottom of a vodka bottle. More than a year after the murder of his wife, CEO Javier has barely managed to keep the family business afloat and refuses any and all help from Xander. Since Javier has asked for Xander's help, but his wife has refused, London is an innocent who moved to Lafayette to get her life moving forward. She meets Xander and they fall in love. And that is I shouldn't even look for that. Joey Hill, he was good back in the day. Vivian Arend, let's see, what does it got? Got 4 stars, so we can do it. We'll do it real quick. Rebel. It's an ebook only. Rocky Mountain Rebel. RN sure knows how to corral readers' attention and lasso them without a hitch. Book 5 of the six-pack Ranch 6 series is raunchy and dirty like a super sexy, sweaty cowboy. Okay. Vicky Hensel's sister and mother's easy sexual habits led small-minded residents to believe she's the town bad girl. Her whole life is spent defending her name and dreaming of moving away while she endures a minimum wage dead-end job. And then she meets Joel Coleman and life changes. Wuthering Heights with bondage. Heathcliff is a homeless child. He's brought to live with the Earnshaw's family at a young age. He realizes spontaneous wild Catherine Shaw is the only woman he desires. Okay. Okay. Well, that is it for May 2013 Romantic Times Book Review. Check it out. Hope you found something to read. Have a good one.